Hi everyone, this is Cyrus for iPhoneAppsFinder.com. Today I'm reviewing Hueless for iPhone. It's an application designed for black and white photography. It has a lot of cool features that lets you take better quality photos on your iPhone or iPad. Now you want to be running iOS 6 to get the most out of it. Before we get started, first of all, this was designed by the guys at Curious Satellite, before I forget, and they've done a marvelous job with this application. Now, before you start it, you want to go to your settings, go to privacy, and turn this option for Hueless on. You also want to go to the bottom of your page for Hueless settings and optimize, change the buttons and features you want on and off. This is Everybody knows how to do this. I just want to remind you that if some of the features don't work, this is the place you want to visit. Now you go to Hueless. It's pretty awesome. As far as, first of all, the user interface is very simple, and you can get it started right away. For instance, you want to save your settings. I just saved it. If I want to save it, image adjustment, you can do. If you tap and hold, you can delete the preset. You can share your formula. You can share the adjustment and settings. Now the same applies for the other ones. If I don't want any of that, I can just reset, and everything basically goes away. So I have that option, and as you can see, I have now two of these. I can have 4 different settings adjusted here, and when I don't need it, I can just get rid of them. And it's gesture based. As you can see, I can change the aspect ratio pretty easily. The brightness, these are the filters actually. You have multiple filters to use, and let's say I wanna I'm drinking tea before doing this review just to stay awake. So let's say I wanna change these colors, see how they work. You have to play around with it to get exactly the art of getting the perfect black and white photographs. Is not something you can just set and forget about it. Just choose a couple of settings and go with it. You want to try and test, and it takes a lot of time to actually learn how to do this. Professionals, I'm talking about professional photographers, it's not that they just get up and flash their camera and that's it. Talent is required. But what's nice about this app is it provides you with a set of tools to help make your life easier. I can change contrast and brightness, and again, gesture based. I can change these settings. I can capture photos. I can preview photos. So these are all pretty cool options to have. Now you do have the option to get, there's an ISO mode available for the low light situations. You have options. You have the option to geotag your photos as you want. You get the live. I showed you the live exposure and live contrast options, so you can play around with those. You can reset everything and go. Let's say I wanna use this, and then I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna save it there. So let's say I'm gonna go now. This is blue filter. If I go back there, it should have my setting that I adjusted there. So as far as you can also use the camera, the front-facing camera and the rear camera for your photos. I personally prefer the rear camera for obvious reasons, but you have that options, and you preview your photos, and once you're done, you can So there you have it. Before I forget, let me say I showed you guys the aspect ratio, which was nice. I'm just using it with two of my fingers, dragging and just changing these. This right here turns the front camera on. And there, one neat thing about this app is that you can actually have a help section that you can go through, and it explains everything you need to know to get started with this app. Obviously, it doesn't automatically improve the quality of your photos. You need to play around with different settings and save different options. But it's nice to have a pretty well written, and I've gone through it a couple of times actually. Just wanted to make sure I know what I'm doing when I do the presentation, and it explains everything. Let's say you know that the color filters that I explained, you can tap to confirm, you can test, you can drag to adjust. So the aspect ratio, you can pinch to change it. There's a shutter mode. Now, in order to get the most out of this app, you need iOS 5 at least and iOS 6 for some features. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil the help section, but you have that options available. So that's about it. If you need an app to help you take black and white photos and filters and play around with aspect ratio and all that, Hueless by the guys at Curious Satellite is what you need. It's available for $1.99 at this time. The developers were kind enough to provide us with a preview copy, and it's actually a full copy, but we're just using it for review. This version is version 2. It was updated on October 31st. So the guys are actually providing updates all the time, which is very nice to see. You also have the size. It's only 7.5 megabytes. So even if you're running out of space on your iPad or iPhone, you still have a lot. I mean, you're not gonna run out of space with 7.5 megabytes. I've downloaded apps that are 1.5 gigs. So I think I've covered everything. I am interested to know if you guys have been using it, if you have feature suggestions, if you have feedback as far as how to use this application, or any other issues that you've had with the stability. If you never had any issue with the stability part, the app hasn't crashed on us. I've tested an on iPhone, this is an iPad 2, and I've also tested an iPad 3. Never had an issue with it. Pretty perfect there. Obviously, I'm not a advanced photographer, so if you've had issues with the advanced settings here, please let us know in the comment section. And you may also want to check some of the other photography applications that we've tested on iPhone and you can catch the videos on appfinders.com. If you like this app, please support the developer, and also please support us. You can go to iPhoneappsfinder.com for more reviews, and also you can also subscribe to our channel. That will help as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys.